time it is. Marvin Devine, Huber, Axel, and you know how we do. Yeah, I got the juice. Big game cool, make them look like cool. Always play it cool, that's the biggest rule. Forget what they doing, keep on doing. I've been making loot since like 22. Ask me how I made it right here in the booth. I'm always pursued cause of what I pursue. That's greatness, yeah, I gotta make it, I got things to lose. Boy, wanna get in my crew, but can't get in my crew. Me, XL and Huber, way too fireable. When this joint drop, better call the troops. And when you hear the drop, better raise the roof. Better raise the roof. You already know what happens when we link up. Let's go. Yeah, I got the.
Good afternoon, and welcome. It has been such a long time. Welcome to Kidney Hub, East Africa. I am half your host, Steve the Kidney Nurse. Oh man, it feels good to be back. In fact, it's been about 6 to 8 months since myself and Brother Moses Kennedy, the kidney ambassador, has been back. Now we're going to continue as the best we can from this point moving forward to continue Kidney Hub East Africa, because we know the importance of kidney disease education in East Africa and the rest of the world. So without further ado, let me give our brother a warm welcome to VIP introduction. Brother Moses, welcome.
Oh yeah, thank you very much. It's been really a very long time, and I am glad we have worked out ways to be back.
Oh, absolutely.
Same day, same hour. Thank you so much, and expect big this time round.
Yes,
You're welcome.
It's been a very long time, and your audio is good. Hopefully, we'll have a good show today, and to educate the folks in East Africa as well as across the world that is suffering from kidney disease. Brother Moses, tell the audience a little about yourself who don't know you, and how long you had kidney disease, and how long you've been advocating for this condition.
Thank you so much, Steve, for that. In the year 2017, I was diagnosed by end-stage renal disease, or stage 5, or end-stage kidney disease. So either is the same. And to date, I'm still a patient, and it means I still remain a warrior. And 3 years after diagnosis, I had several unresolved queries, because remember, the care team does not have enough time to explain to you. In fact, there are other places that they completely do not explain any aspect of treatment, how to take care of yourself, or in other words, manage your condition. And now this one really made me to be one of the advocates, especially of myself, and to advocate for others. And that is how my story begins, with advocacy. And now, to date, I would say I also have a niche of myself. I don't want to brag so much, but then we are trying our best to ensure that all warriors are well enlightened and well informed as far as kidney disease is concerned, and better treatment outcome, Brother Steve.
Yes, brother.
Back to you.
Thank you, brother. Yeah, I got to have some information that I didn't load up. And this is live of the statistics for Kenya. But Brother Moses, well, first of all, let me go back. The reason for this particular podcast is for to pass on information related to kidney disease. And we know kidney disease impacts millions of people across the United States and worldwide, even in East Africa. And Brother Moses, how many people go to your clinic as we speak? Your dialysis?
We have about 400.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
That is those who go Monday, Thursday, Tuesday, Friday, and Wednesday, Saturday. So we are about 400. And basically, that is the number. And most of warriors who attend the unit thinks that going for treatment is just a daily routine. They do not know that they have a greater say in terms of treatment. So that is where we are also lagging behind, especially here in Kenya, because even as people go to their respective units, they tend to get attached to that unit so much that they do not want even to have other options in any eventuality. So basically, this informs us the gap that really exists, education gap that really exists when it comes to managing CKD.
All right, brother, I got to apologize. Thank you. You held it down. Like I said, this is our first time back, and I'm going to be honest, I wasn't really prepared as I should have been. but I got the information. I'm multitasking from TikTok for my phone to get the information to send it to another phone. So now I'm ready to go with the information. I apologize, but thank you for holding it down. Thank you guys for staying around. Again, this information is so critical, and a lot of people don't know about East Africa when it comes to kidney disease because they're thinking about their own situation. But this is what Brother Moses is subjected to, and the many brothers and sisters that undergo kidney disease in East Africa. So this is based on data from 2024 when it comes to kidney disease statistics in East Africa. The prevalence, it almost mirrors the United States. The prevalence of chronic kidney disease. The prevalence of CKD in East Africa varies wildly depending on the population studied and the diagnostic criteria used. Studies estimate that CKD or chronic kidney disease affects approximately 10 to 15% of the adult population. And that's a lot, okay? In some East African countries, for example, like Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda has reported CKD prevalence rate ranging from 7% to 15% in general population. Would you agree with that? Those numbers in Kenya, Brother Moses, since that's where you're at?
Oh yes, but the numbers could be even higher because most of the data collected does not reach to all targeted recipients. For example, there are those who suffer and they do not know they suffer until it progresses to end stage. That is when their data is collected, when they are hospitalized, and treatment begins. So I guess, yes, the numbers could be even high.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So number 2, the common causes of kidney disease. The leading causes of chronic kidney disease in East Africa include, again, here as well, hypertension. They has as number 1. And then you say that's what caused your kidney disease was hypertension, right?
No. I had some obstruction.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they say hypertension, diabetes mellitus, infectious diseases such as HIV, AIDS, chronic glomerulonephritis, which is inflammation of the glomerule in the kidneys. And this is one that I found very surprising. And I can see why these people with the herbal scams are making money. They have on here use of traditional herbal medicines with nephrotoxic effects. I found that highly interesting that they would put that on there in East Africa. Now, have you seen that the use of herbal teas and products that say they will start your kidneys back up or prevent dialysis?
Oh yes. This is a common place, especially here in Kenya and major cities, where unscrupulous businessmen would want to exploit, unsuspecting clients. That is the patients. So what they normally do, they use all manner of good languages that promises a quick fix. And basically in an African culture, given that there are so many problems, people tend to believe that there could be a quick fix for everything. maybe away from religion that people also subscribe to as a way to believing that it can provide quick fixes, these herbalists or these businessmen have found their way in, promising heaven on earth. And by the way, Brother Steve, what happens is we've seen people having acute kidney disease, acute kidney injury, and then end up going to end stage. Why? Because he believes that he is able to leave hospital and take quick herbals to fix it. And we have seen even warriors losing it. Those who have been taking treatment consistently lose all of a sudden when they try out herbal medicine. And Steve, let me tell you something. On top of that, those kind of herbal concoction, there are also rogue men of color, those who call themselves men of God. They come and they preach to you and promise that now you are healed, you should not go to hospital. So, I mean, these are also a bunch of men who wreak havoc to patient.
I want to send a shout out to Elder Willie Blackwell, who received a kidney a while back. And he was around when we started these podcasts before even TikTok was around, 2018. And we still doing this. And this disease doesn't stop. You got new people every year. 750,000 people in the United States are impacted each year. And we don't know about East Africa each year. They say 7 to 15%. And people, like, because it doesn't impact them, think it can't happen. Just like with a lot of situations where you see some people's houses flooding or in a hurricane or natural disasters or whatever. And next thing you know, now it's happening to them. This disease can hit your life at any time, from any way. It doesn't have to be from diabetes or hypertension. Nikki said hers was from lupus. I'm telling you, the more you know about this disease, the better. If something comes down the pipe that's dealing with the disease, you can manage it instead of not knowing what's going on and being stressed out about, is this something, that's going to affect me for the rest of the time or what? Because it's a lot when it comes to kidney disease, and that's where the education is very important. Brother Moses, let's look at the risk factors. And Kat said hers was from neurofibromatosis. So it definitely has to be more education out there and be more consistent. I'm human just like everybody else and get discouraged. Like, it's 4 people watching on live. With a while ago, back when we first started, when I saw 4 people, I used to get frustrated. But it is what it is when it comes to kidney disease education. A lot of people don't latch on to it until it hits them or someone in their family. Brother Moses, let's talk about the risk factors. High rates of untreated or poorly controlled hypertension in diabetes contribute to significantly CKD. Again, you had mentioned some people don't even know that they have it. And here in the United States, 9 out of 10 people have stage 3 kidney disease and don't even know they have it. So they're halfway to the point of maybe no return. Because at least if you find out that you have it, you go get tested and you find out what stage you're in, then you can do something about it, stop the progression or address the underlying condition that's causing the kidney disease. And now, like over in Kenya, I know it's different here than the United States. You know, people, when it comes to finances and access to fresh foods and vegetables and stuff like that, do many people deal with that? Like at your clinic, I don't know if they have HIPAA over there, but most people, you know, and long as you've been advocating, what have you seen the risk factors that's been leading up to dialysis for many Kenyans that deal with this?
Okay, there are quite a number of risk factors that are keeping dialysis patients out of dialysis, right? And one that points out is the cost of transport to and fro. We have seen there are provinces you need to travel about 400 kilometers. I don't know how 400 kilometers is in miles, but it is quite far. It is a journey by road that can take about 8 hours or 6 or 4 hours. So you realize that most of the warriors are even forced to move from home and rent a small room where they can be staying and attending treatment. But you know, that one also comes with a cost because there are bills to be paid once you are renting a house. So basically, number one is the cost of transport, getting them there. Sometimes a warrior knows very well the importance of not missing, but then public transport gets disrupted, or inability of bus fare to and fro, you know. So you realize that that one keeps them off. Then number two is this lack of information. Most warriors are not educated the importance of having all the treatment without missing, because they tend to believe that coming in for treatment is a routine. And even most caregivers, most health workers also just takes you as a routine, as just basically a routine. If you don't ask anything, they will not talk about it. And sometimes if you ask, they are not willing to share. So you realize that most warriors who do not advocate for themselves find it demoralizing to go to such like units, Brother Steve. So those are the most two reasons.
I just found out from one of my TikTok friends. Thank you, Miss Cass. And she's watching from the UK. She's from the UK. and she deals with kidney disease as well. But she says 400 kilometers is 248 miles. And I was going to say about 200 miles. I was thinking, because you said about 4 hours, and I was thinking about the trip from here to Virginia Beach is about 4 hours. And that's about 200 something miles. Or New York. New York is about 4 hours. About 200 something miles. But it's interesting that you said that, because the next risk factor.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, let me just add on something about it, about the distance also. In Kenya, we have devolved kind of government system where we have the national government and the county government. Now, the county government is headed by a governor. The second biggest county in Kenya, with the vast land, very big, it's called Marsabit County. It is so big that warriors must go and rent a house closer in that it takes them maybe 1 hour or 30 minutes to clinic. So that is how there it is. And as I speak to you, I was speaking to a warrior this morning. In fact, we might have a discussion maybe over it next time. The warrior says the machines are broken. The government, because of that bureaucratic system of procurement and servicing the broken machines, has led them now to remain with the 2 machines, entire referral hospital. So you can imagine, others are now forced to go and live in capital city of Nairobi. So imagine those who cannot afford or who do not have anybody to support them to move closer. What happens to them? They lose it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. The next thing I was going to say, limited access to healthcare and late diagnosis often result in patients presenting with advanced kidney disease. And what you just said, I can see how that is in the region, because if you live way out, and if you don't go in to town or somewhere close where you can get diagnostic studies like your kidneys checked out, then you won't know if you got kidney disease, and you start getting sick, and then you finally do make it to the closest city or wherever that you can get really checked out. It's pretty much too late. Or like they said, the disease done advanced. It also says, which again I find highly interesting, that infectious diseases remain a significant contributor to kidney damage in the region. Infectious diseases. So if you're watching this, excuse me, and you're in East Africa and you may be at risk for diabetes or hypertension, please, if you can get checked out, please do so. You know I'm not there, Brother Moses, you're there. And like you say, the urgency and the risk factor is really up there. You got people, like you said, traveling an hour, up to 2 hours to try to get treatment. And, we talked about this in the past, what I'm about to say, over in Gaza. Let's not forget the brothers and sisters in the Middle East, in Gaza, that's going through the war. It has gotten to the point where people who used to go 3 days a week for 4 hours are now subjected to go 1 day a week for 2 hours. Brother Moses, 1 day a week for 2 hours. You know and I know that that's not any type of dialysis. That is worse than someone here in the United States getting blackballed. And here, what that means, Brother Moses, if a facility can't private, because they're private, if they want to involuntarily discharge someone for maybe behavior or finances or not coming to adherence to treatment, it could be any number of reasons. They give them a 30-day notice, say, hey, you got to find somewhere else. But what the problem is, if the clinic that they're getting involuntary discharge from is like say DaVita, that's one of the big corporations. And then they may have other sister units around in that area. They may be the controlling clinic in that area. If a person gets thrown out of one DaVita, they can't go to no more DaVitas. They got to find another place to go. And then what happens when they try to get into another place, they get the records, the other place get the records and don't have to accept them. And so what ends up happening, people who fall into this category has to go to the emergency room to get their treatment. And it may be twice a week, 3 times a week, or it may be whenever your numbers get to a critical level, like the potassium, then they'll dialyze you. But it won't be maintenance dialysis, like how you go twice a week for 4 hours. It's not that. And so that's crazy. And that happens here. So
does it mean that patient over there do not have a right to access of emergency treatment, because dialysis being emergency care, I guess there's this right of
it doesn't
access.
matter. Like, say, for instance, again, if you get discharged from a clinic, they could put somebody out the clinic. And if you can't find another clinic to go to, then you have to go to the emergency room. However, if ain't nobody at the dialysis department, or they got other patients in a hospital that they dialyzing, they got to fit you in. It's no, okay, we got to stop everything and bring that person in. Normally, that person sits in the emergency room for a minute. I'm talking about hours. I'm going to send you an article that you can Google of a gentleman here in the United States, 80-something years old. He mentioned that he was so angry at one of the DaVita units he was going to. I can't think of the state. I think maybe Louisiana. He was so frustrated because the machine, I guess, was broken and something with a staff member that he said he felt like pew in the place. I can't say because I'm on TikTok. You know, when you have a weapon and you discharge it. He said that's what he felt like doing, but he didn't have a weapon with him. His words, what he said and how they perceived it as a threat gave him that leeway to send his family a letter, him and his family, saying that he has 30 days to find another place. But the other units around it, nobody would accept him because of what he said. So now he got to go to the hospital, 80-something years old. And he's been going to this unit for 10 years. 10 years now, because of something he said. They kicked him out. That's, anyway, let's talk about end-stage kidney disease and dialysis, because this is one of the results from having kidney disease and then going into kidney failure is what they call end-stage, either kidney disease or renal disease. They're both the same in dialysis. Now, over in East Africa, and we just talked about this, access to dialysis and kidney transplantation is limited in East Africa due to cost, infrastructure, and availability. What do you say about that, Brother Moses?
Oh yes, let me add about also something. Then there is poor legislation of laws regarding transplant and transplantation. So basically, Kenya and even East Africa, because East Africa only depend on Kenya for that. But then we are struggling behind, and for quite a number of reasons. Number one reason is limited kidney donors, and then restrictive laws that abide by donation. For example, Steve, you are aware of you must be blood related. So sometimes we ask, even if the question is supposedly if kidney disease runs in the blood, because it can be genetical to have kidney disease run in the blood. That is family history. What happens to such a person? It means he or she has completely no hope of doing transplant. And this is why, Brother Steve, I've been working on a way that what if we expand our legislation so that if you get the right match, it must not be necessarily restrictive to to blood relationship. So that and many more reasons makes it so difficult, Brother Steve. Yeah.
And what about the cost? Who would actually, with the insurance that they have there in Kenya, who would cover the cost of transplant? Would you have to have money to get it if that was the case?
Well, to be on a safer side, you must just have the money. Reason being, currently, let me speak currently, we've shifted from the previous NHF, that is a government-owned insurance, to Social Health Authority, which is quite defective. People are complaining. We are in a crisis. Everything sounds well on paper, but nothing happens. You see, we have successive riots regarding SHA and finance bill in Kenya. Even as we speak, the main items in the next general election, it will be just to weed out corruption and to have a good SHA for citizens. So basically, as we speak, you cannot bring in that SHA, Social Health Authority, to any closer if you want to have a transplant. And most warriors who prepare for transplant normally does fundraising, and as well as fundraising from even relatives and friends, which in most cases is also, come on, so tricky. Now, the Social Health Authority is supposed to give a quarter of the amount. They say in National Referral Hospital, the cost is 1.5 million. So the Social Health Authority gives a quarter of that, which is $500,000. So it is really a great challenge. It has even made the dream of so many warriors shattered, Brother Steve.
Yeah, that's why, again, I believe shows like this is so crucial. If we can get the people to receive the information, but it almost seems like we may be fighting, I don't want to say a losing battle, because if we say, hey, go get tested for kidney disease, but you can't financially afford to get tested, then what do you do, Brother Moses?
You know, funnily enough, most people fear getting tested in any manner. In most African cultural setup, they would rather stay in that situation of wait and see.
And then
I was one of them, because for the first time when I was told, look, Moses, you could be losing your kidneys, I never took him so serious. So it does happen because lack of information, Brother Steve. And that is why this show, even if 2 or 3 are watching, that is a step further.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? I was just sitting here thinking, if there could be something over in East Africa where if there's some type of test where you don't have to go in, like a home kit that was inexpensive, like for instance, like here they have these dipsticks that you can dip in your urine to see if you have the presence of blood or protein or ketones or sugar or whatever the case. And if there was some type of kit, I don't know if it's one developed where you could see if, because, to do testing for kidney disease, you need blood and urine. If you did a urine stick and you had protein in your urine, that's not normal. That can show some indications, but it could be diabetes, be high blood pressure. It could be many things. But if they had a inexpensive kit that fellow East Africans could use, and then if it gives an indication that it may be some presence of kidney disease, then take the next step. But again, it like you just said, navigating the system is a challenge. especially it could be a financial one as well.
And corruption.
Yeah. So it goes on to say many patients with ESKD, end-stage kidney disease, do not receive adequate treatment, leading to high mortality rates. Now, you mentioned something about some machines being broke down. That can contribute to inadequate treatment. Do you see
Very
that a
true.
lot?
Very true.
Do you see that
Very
a lot?
true.
Like
Yes.
machines broken down?
Yeah, there are so many, especially far end counties that experience that. But within the cities, nephrologists and units are crowded are much more available in cities because they are into business. So, I mean, just like taking business far away where it is not viable makes them very less, and it is left for the government, not the private sector.
Mm-hmm. Now, check this out. The next one says dialysis prevalence is estimated to be very low compared to the population size, with fewer than 10 dialysis centers per country in many East African nations. So what that means, there's not many dialysis centers.
Absolutely. Vis-a-vis the number of patients we have, those who need those services, I would agree.
Wow. Number 5, mortality and morbidity. CKD contributes significantly to morbidity and mortality in East Africa. Studies show that patients with CKD have a higher risk of cardiovascular disease and premature death. Mortality rates among dialysis patients are higher than in developed countries due to late presentation and limited resources. So it almost seemed like we're just going like in a cycle. But how do you break that cycle, brother?
It is not easy. It is not easy because maybe even the side effect of treatment alone makes you have other comorbidities. Dialysis itself is straining. It is consuming, and it also have other share of destruction. For example, I want to give you an example, Brother Steve. Currently, I cannot walk completely. I have to struggle with a cane. I have to struggle with a cane, and it is just as a result of many years of treatment. As much as it gives you relief, it causes other side effect. So yes, definitely, it is not easy. Yeah.
Brother Moses, let me just ask you, do you think, in your opinion, that people who deal with this disease in other places, say like for United States, have it a little bit more better when it comes to treatment than like where you're at? Because some people over here, I'm sure you may hear or about people who don't go to treatment or don't take their medicines. And in your case, I'm sure you probably would like if the government, like over here, the federal government, Medicare, pays 80% of the treatment, and the person is responsible for 20%, but they're able to get Epogen, which is a ESA, erythropoiesis stimulating agent. They're able. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I got to verify something. Pills like calcitriol or cinecalcet that helps with phosphorus and calcium and iron. That stuff, they don't have to come out of their pocket for, but you do.
Well,
Access to social worker, access to dietitian, all here free. Where it's over where you're at, again, if you want those services, it's not. Do you have a social worker or a dietitian that's located inside your dialysis clinic?
no.
See,
What happens?
mm-hmm.
What happens? The package is so little that other services must be outsourced by yourself. So the care team sometimes does not care whether you are able to access or not, because they also have no control about it. That is why I'm saying maybe in US and Europe, they are better off, quite more better off, because there is also that option of home dialysis. Yes,
You don't
which
have
something that is not.
Funny.
Sorry.
Now I was saying you don't have that option of home dialysis unless maybe you had the finances to able to set up the system and all that.
Yes, for those from opulence, you can organize for your home dialysis. But then, as we speak, the government for a very long time has been adamant. And, these are the very things fundamental that options that we need to have, so that if you are tired with the mess and the stress in the unit, you can opt that for yourself, and you be responsible for your own treatment. I guess that will, even for me, works best. If there was home dialysis, I'll be doing that, because now I will commit. I will do every steps, not doing it for the sake. So basically, it is better out in developed countries. Yeah, it is not easy here.
Yeah, I'm sure, man. And I hate to see that. I swear I do. That's one of the reasons why, I wanted to commit to this show as far as education. Because if I can't be there financially, meaning have enough money to make an impact financially for many of the Kenyans that suffer with kidney failure, then possibly through education and awareness. But at the same time, is how do you also implement some of these strategies when you may not have the resources to implement those very same strategies that could help you? Let's look at the last one. which is what we're doing now and trying to encourage awareness and screening. Awareness and screening. Awareness of kidney disease is generally low among the general populations. And Brother Moses can contest to that. Is it still that way now, Brother Moses? Kidney disease is generally low among the general population when it comes to awareness and screening.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because few who must have heard about it thinks that it is a curse. Maybe it is some sin you committed. I mean, such like beliefs contribute. But then I guess if most government will take it as a primary care to educate masses, even including other non-communicable diseases, it will be better off rather than to cure it. Yes. Because the government, I see most governments, I don't know the case maybe in US, if there is a primary health care that caters for education and awareness. So that is what actually we are lacking, that will propel communities to identify that this thing exists and anybody can get CKD.
Absolutely. Then it says screening programs are limited but are increasing in some urban centers. Do you agree with that? Screening programs are limited but are increasing in some urban centers. Have you seen increase of screening in urban centers?
Not quite much, but then it is better off in urban centers than in the rural areas. Because you remember most hospitals would also want to market the facility. So these are the very events that they use it purposely, to market when they say we have free BP, we have free diabetes test. Now the question is, so what after that? That is the most important question. Yes.
Absolutely. And then last but not least, they say early detection and management remain major challenges. Early detection and management remains major challenges. Can you elaborate on that, Brother Moses? And then we'll go ahead and start.
Very true. Very true. One thing, Brother Steve, about early identification or early diagnosis is that it can be managed, it can be slowed, or it can be even stopped so that it doesn't progress to a situation where now it becomes a crisis and a burden to you. So that is why I guess early diagnosis and screening really helps a lot. It can even kick some discussion within yourself to how now to accept the new norm. It has never been easy for most patients. You know, you are told today, you still deny, you keep on, you keep on internalizing, then slowly you accept. So it is very important to have it early identified.
All right, brother. Thank you for that. Now, as we come to the end of the show, man, this has been a very great show. We didn't have really any internet hiccups when it comes to the connection, so this has been really, really great. Brother Moses, anything you would like to share before we close the show pertaining to kidney disease awareness and prevention when it comes to your fellow Kenyans and kidney warriors and potential people who may have kidney disease and not even know it in East Africa?
Oh, yes. There is a lot, but let me point out one that stand out, is that you must always raise your voice as a patient. Take that proactive action towards your treatment. It doesn't matter how it is perceived. Be strong on your ground, but use respectful language. Because if you don't advocate for yourself, most of the staff, the care team are out there to earn a salary. So it is, and the buck stops with you as a patient. So have it that right. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Moses. I wanted to ask you, before we do depart, do they have something like blackball in Kenya, meaning if a patient threatens another patient or threatens a staff person or interrupts operations, do they have something where they would dismiss the person from the facility? Say two people fighting in the facility, will they continue to let them come back to the facility, or will they tell them they got to find somewhere else to get their treatment? Or it doesn't matter?
For well-established facility, those who have already gotten enough patient, that is clientele, and to say it that way, they might get any reason to discontinue if they think you are a threat, not even as a security threat, but even if you are a threat to that aspect of business that is happening there, you will be culpable. For example, I've seen a place where one patient is being accused of inciting others, but it wasn't the case. The patient only requested that today we are not going to be attended by this particular technician because he basically looks incompetence. So you get me, because most facilities also are running short of employees.
Oh, they had that problem there?
They take not well trained, and even others train on the job so that they can be paid something less. So if you deem to be a threat in that manner, not necessarily others that is rightfully to be sent. For example, if you threaten a care worker, definitely you need to be sent, or, but then if you threaten that aspect of profit making, that is, you can also go home. Yes.
And they won't let you come back?
They will not let you come back. But the goodness is, each day these dialysis units sprout all over. So you can always keep changing. Keep changing. Like me, I've changed so many, because when I see this is not working, I can't stomach now. Because of the information maybe I have, I can't stomach. If I see a technician completely lacks no idea, and he is in a hurry to, to attend to me, you have a right to refuse. And that is not being rude. But it can be perceived that that is rudeness. So yes, there are such occurrences.
All right, brother. All right, man. It's been a great hour, doing this education piece on understanding kidney disease, especially for East Africans. So we look forward to coming back next Sunday with a brand new episode. Brother Moses, again, I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
And again, do you have anything else you want to say before we leave?
We are exhausted for today.
Okay. All right, brother. Well, everyone, thank you for coming on. I want to thank, before we leave, Elder Blackwell. Thank you for stopping by. Nikki, Jersey, or Nikki 4010. Kat, and everyone else that's watching on TikTok or stopped in. Thank you so much for your support. And please share this live. Absolutely. Yeah, it's been a minute. During this time, I lost my mom in July. Matter of fact, July 13th, 1:37 a.m. in the morning is when she passed at the hospital. So I'm still navigating through those feelings of grievance, but each day it gets better. But I want to thank my mom. I love her. So with that being said, we'll see you. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it. We see y'all next week. Again, thank you for watching. Thank you, TikTok. Appreciate you. And everyone else watching, we'll see you next week. If you have any questions, or you want to be on the podcast, please, you can send me an email through stevethekidneynurse.com. And okay. If you want to talk about that, Nikki, you got a transplant. Congratulations. That's awesome. Nikki 4010 got a transplant. Thank you for sharing that. And if you definitely want to share that and your years doing dialysis before leading up to the transplant, please reach out to me. 728. That's awesome. Recently, it's just been a month, pretty much. A month and a couple of days. So again, congratulations, Nikki. That's awesome. So everyone, thank you for watching. We'll see you next week. Brother Moses, I'll see you and I'll talk to you soon, okay? You still there, Brother Moses? Oh, he must have froze. All right, everyone. Thanks a lot. And we'll see you soon. Peace.
These brothers, my guys, know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side, CJ Ike, now I gotta roll with ice. Cold, these brothers, my guys, know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side, CJ Ike, now I gotta roll with ice. Ride or die, ride or die, ride or die, ride or die. or die, ride or die, ride or die, ride or die. Cody's brothers, my guys, know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep Wales on my side, CJ Ike, now I gotta ride or die.